With more on the soccer scandal is Mike Bako, sports managing editor with DailyNational.com. Mike has been on a lot to talk about FIFA. Shocked that these bribery accusations took place?
I think the person who is shocked should be sent to the insane asylum. I mean, this is bribery, underhanded dealings in soccer, and FIFA in particular are like, corner kicks. I mean, they just happen. They're a part of the game. They're a part of doing business. This should come as a shock to basically no one.
Why did U.S. prosecutors take the charge here, and what are they saying happened?
Well, they're taking the charge here because some of these bribes were funneled through U.S. banks. So that's where they come in, and they just saw a litany of these bribes that were going back for close to 2 decades. And when you're talking about that long and you're talking about this much money, $150 million, that's where they wanted to take action.
They had an inside guy here, correct?
They did. They did have someone from the CONCACAF that gave them...
Which is one of the regional
confederations. And that's really at the heart of what a lot of these bribes were. It's not necessarily the large scale, who's going to get the World Cup. It was all the regional tournaments, who's playing, who's reffing, where are they going to take place. So it's on the smaller scale, but soccer is a very top-down regional type of enterprise, so it's no surprise that that's where a lot of these bribes were happening.
Well, and the question, however, now is whether the dominoes are going to start falling in the direction of, obviously, Geneva, which is where FIFA is located, and now Switzerland is starting its own investigation. And the question is, did Switzerland just wake up this morning and say, holy cow, there's corruption going on here? What sparked them to do something today?
It's amazing. For once, the U.S. can say that they are taking the lead in something soccer-related. So we're behind the times in terms of our passion for soccer. And a lot of the world ridicules us for the way that we watch and follow soccer. But I think Switzerland was looking at what the U.S. put together, and I think what they're taking the lead on is what went on with the World Cup selections.
Much bigger story.
Much bigger scale, much bigger story, something that has been percolating for many, many years, ever since 2018, 2022, Russia and Qatar. Very subject winning of these World Cup sites.
FIFA says they have no intention of moving those games. Probably have their hands tied a little bit. Both countries are spending billions to build stadiums there. But what could be the future here? How far will this Switzerland investigation go, and how far up does it go?
Well, if it goes to Sepp Blatter, then we're actually talking. This is a guy that has been entrenched in that presidency, ruling with an iron hand, doing basically whatever he wants.
He's the dictator of soccer.
He's the dictator of soccer, and basically creating an atmosphere where these bribes can go on, creating an atmosphere where under the table dealings are basically standard operating procedures. So if it reaches up to him or people close to him where it could be directly tied to him, I think that's where the dominoes are going to begin to fall.
The new election for the president takes place this week. 2 questions. Will the election take place, and should Sepp Blatter step down?
Well, if you ask UEFA, they want the elections to be postponed and see what transpires out of this. Blatter obviously wants to push these ahead. He could obviously have that vote tomorrow and continue with his reign. So I think if it's up to him, he's going to push these through. And I think a lot of people just want to get these elections done and almost push everything else under the table.
Ultimately, there's a tremendous amount of money at stake, right? FIFA makes a ton.
They make a ton. $150 million in the grand scheme of things is nothing. You would almost imagine that the bribes and the amount would be even larger considering the billions and billions of dollars that are involved.
Is there anything that you see so far that is an existential threat to FIFA right now?
I don't think so. I think even if the World Cup was happening in a few weeks this summer, I think soccer fans are just so passionate about the game. They're worried about the game.
The game is beautiful. The game is tremendous, but there are all of these accusations, and then you start to wonder about the credibility of the game itself.
You worry about the credibility of the game, but when you talk to fans in Europe, when you talk to fans around the world, they just want to see the game. They don't care. They understand that bribes are going on. They understand that things are going on under the table. It's not like in the U.S. where we want everything above board and we're calling for the heads of Roger Goodell and we're calling for the head of David Stern or Adam Silver or different owners. They just want the game. They just want it to be played, and they don't care.
Mike Bako, thank you.
Thank you.